Anybody want to wrestle?
You know, wrestling, that's just such a crazy thing for a woman to be involved in.
Well, Sara Levin is definitely a woman.
Yeah, and she's like the president.
She started wreSTL, wreSTL. Isn't that clever? Here in St. Louis.
Yes, for the STL.
For the Utes of St. Louis.
Yes.
Sara, hi.
Hi. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
How did you, a woman, get involved in this wrestling thing, this wrestling thing?
You know, it's actually, Joy, it's not so unusual for a woman to be involved in the sport of wrestling.
Okay.
It has been in the Olympic Games since 2004.
Hello, Joy.
And
Marriage has been around since...
We have some college programs.
Were you a wrestler?
I did not compete in wrestling, but I have been involved in the sport for over 25 years.
Well, you know, what's so amazing to me is, you know, you have this wonderful program for kids. Well, how old?
8 years old through 8th grade.
Okay. And in this lovely brochure, there is a quote where one of these young men says, "Wrestling gave me the skills to reach the goals in my life and overcome challenges. It changed the narrative of my life, teaching me courage, resilience, and humility." And I'm thinking, wow, I thought it was just like what you did with your siblings, you know, when you were mad at each other.
Yeah. And interesting, that quote is actually from Randy Couture, who is a pretty well-known UFC Hall of Famer, MMA fighter, as well as a Hollywood actor. So he was a wrestler. You'll find there are many people out there that wrestled in high school, in college, beyond. Randy was a contender for an Olympic team a number of times.
Yeah,
and they attribute much of their success to what they learned in the wrestling room.
Like what? Other than like getting somebody in a headlock? I mean,
Wrestling is an amazing sport. It is. It teaches dedication and determination. It teaches self-reliance. It teaches there's a lot of problem solving in wrestling.
Yeah, I've noticed that most of the guys that I went to high school with that became leaders were on the wrestling team. You know, and I thought that was odd at the time. But
you would be surprised to find out who has been a wrestler and who still identifies as a wrestler. We've had Speaker of the House, Secretary of Defense, NASA astronauts. A friend of mine spent 6 months on the International Space Station as a NASA astronaut, and he wrestled at Cornell University. And
now, wreSTL, wreSTL, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization set up to help the young kids in the city of St. Louis primarily. Where are you located? How do you get involved?
We are located at 1800 South Broadway in the old Broadway commercial district there by Lift for Life Academy. Okay. We have our own room, which is great. We really committed to making sure that we have our own space. We're not at someone else's high school. We aren't associated with any other organization, any other school. So we are.
So you need some funding.
Absolutely. We're an independent wrestling facility. We are 100% donor funded. 501c3. So
now, I understand it's like $25 per kid. What does a kid get for $25?
Right. So if you live in the city of St. Louis, it's only $25 for 3 months and of your membership. If you live outside of the city limits, it's $75. And with that, you'll get your USA Wrestling membership card, which comes with secondary insurance, as well as your USA Wrestling magazine delivered to your home and everything that comes with that. You get shoes to wear, headgear to use, gear to wrestle in. We've got shirts and shorts and some quality coaching.
Are, I understand, open as early as 3 p.m. so kids can come right from school, go there.
Possibly, right. Yeah. That's our goal. Right now, we don't have, because of the age group, you know, kids can't get there without their parents. And so right now, until we get some kids who can make it there early, that's our goal, is to be open early for kids to study and get a healthy snack before practice.
Do you have a lot of little girls involved in this?
We do have some little girls. There's actually one pictured in our brochure, Isabella. She is phenomenal, and it was definitely tougher than most of the boys in the room.
What attracted you when you first got into wrestling? What was it about it that you found you wanted to get into?
You know, it really got into my blood, and I think that's what happens with wrestling as a sport, because it is so unique. It's both a individual sport. You have to be out there one-on-one, just you. There's no equipment to rely on. There's no teammates to rely on. There's no assists in wrestling. It's just you and another person who had to work really, really, really hard just to get out there on the mat to face you. So there's this incredible level of respect in the sport. And then there is also a team aspect. And I love that about it, that you have to have a team in the room to practice with, to support you, to help you grow and learn, and you have to have a team in order to be able to get out there onto an individual competition.
I obviously know nothing about wrestling, but I would think that I would be afraid that I would get hurt, or I guess you're not paired with somebody who's greatly physically different than you are.
Correct.
Is that, okay.
So obviously it is a contact sport, but I will say that it is relatively safe compared to football,
boxing.
Soccer, boxing.
Yeah.
I mean, football is not considered a combat sport, but yet there's more concussions in football than any other high school sport.
Now, in addition to donations, do you also need trainers and people just to come and help out?
For sure. We're looking to implement our volunteer program called the Mo Mentors, and it's a mentorship program where community members are present for the kids and help with homework and volunteer an hour a week. And then if there is an experienced coach out there, we hope to be able to expand our hours of or our availability.
This sounds very new.
Yes, very new. We just opened in May.
Oh, okay.
And so we were so smart to open in May and then school let out in June. So really awesome timing. But
Well, do you have the cooperations of various schools?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of support. I'll be going to the Confluence Academy soon to talk to those kids. St. Louis Public Schools is getting the word out.
Now, you can go to wrestl.org, but if I know you have problems with the site at the moment,
I
give
think
us
it's just
a phone number then. So if somebody really wants to get involved
Absolutely.
right now.
You can email us at wreSTL Club, Wrestle Club, @gmail.com.
Okay.
You can call at 314-246-0711. Easy to remember. And you can follow us on our social media. We're on Facebook regularly and Instagram and Twitter.
I tried to find you on Facebook.
Wrestle Club.
Wrestle Club.
Everything is Wrestle Club.
But without the E in Wrestle.
Correct.
Okay. That's
wreSTL Club.
Sara Levin, thank you so much for sharing this information with us, and we wish you the best.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's great.
And that's fantastic. And thank you so much to Nighthawk Security. They made our segment possible through their generosity. They're locally owned and locally monitored here in St. Louis since 1974. They will install, service, maintain, and monitor your security system or take over an existing system. Call 846-4600 and ask for Joe.